I'm Mona Scott Young, CEO of Mona Me Entertainment, executive producer of VH1's Love and Hip Hop, and I am a woman on top.
Mona Scott Young, thank you for being a woman on top.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, a woman on top.
You've made a splash in television.
Right.
Love and Hip Hop.
Yes.
Season 1 was successful, but Season 2 has jumped the shark. Season 2, did you, looking back on Season 1, when you approached Season 2, did you say we really have to turn things up?
You know, it's interesting because I don't know that we made the conscious decision to turn things up. I think everyone came back a lot more comfortable, you know, really understanding that this was a place where, because I think going into it the first go around, everyone was apprehensive. Nobody knew what to expect. These girls are not actresses. They're not used to being, you know, out there and putting their lives out there. I think outside of Olivia, who she may have been the only one with any measure of, you know, public exposure. So I think, you know, we got a great Season 1 because these girls were so open and so honest, which is something that I constantly commend them for, because it's not something I know that I could do. But I think coming back into it, there was a different level of comfort. And they knew this was a safe place. They knew Mona was going to make sure that our stories got told, you know, in a real way. There's no funny business going on in the editing room.
Also saw what worked and what didn't.
And what didn't work. And so I think they just opened themselves up even more. I think they were a lot more honest. I think they were a lot more, they allowed themselves to be a lot more spontaneous in their reactions. Because I think you might have had in the first season a little bit of second guessing, you know, should I do this? Should I say this? What is it going to look like? How am I going to come off? And I think in Season 2, everybody was just like, it is what it is. People know who we are. They know that if I'm reacting this way, it's because I have good reason to. I'm not just reckless, you know?
Do any of the girls regret coming on board for the show?
You know, that's always something that I worry about, because I never want this to be something that doesn't benefit them positively. Even as we're putting out the most, you know, difficult and challenging moments of their lives, I want them to feel that in some sense this was, first of all, it's got to be something they want to do. I don't ever want to force them to do anything, because, you know, they've got to live with it. All the time I think about the fact that I get to go home to my family. Of course I take, you know, the stuff with me in my heart, but they've got to live it. But every single one of them has come back after the season, especially after last season, and even now during the course of this season.
During this intense season.
Great. Oh my God, thank you so much. You know, even though I was upset at the time, you know, now that I've gotten it off my chest, or now that I've, you know, finally dealt with this, and it's therapeutic and it's cathartic, and this, you know, I didn't know what to expect when I did this, but this has been a great result.
This is music, TV, film. Marriage with 2 children.
Absolutely, yeah.
Where does that fit in with everything?
It fits, it's woven all throughout.
Right.
You know, you can't compartmentalize that, because then you're deferring your life. You're putting your life on hold so you can go to work.
Yes.
And then putting work on hold.
So how do you do it? Because I'm trying to learn that.
It's all interwoven. Listen, I was incredibly blessed to meet a man who not only, you know, understood the world, but understood what my potential was in the world and wanted to support that. And, you know, when we got pregnant and we decided to have our child, he was like, listen, we both were in entertainment, and he said, one of us has got to stay home and raise these babies. And he took that baby bottle, slung it in his back pocket, and kept it moving. And it was, you know, an amazing, and I don't want to say sacrifice, because he loves it. Like, listen, if I stay home on a weekday, I'm exhausted. I'm like, how do you do this? It's piano and band and this, and, you know, so it's not like he's at home in front of the TV set scratching his, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is an active dad, like really, really raising, you know, wonderful, wonderful our kids.
And I'm sure he's the perfect sounding board for you also.
And it gets me, you know, because I have a tendency to be at 110 all the time, and sometimes I get home, and we live far away enough in Jersey that the whole idea is that by the time I get home, I've declawed, and I'm, you know, I'm human again, you know.
I love that.
But sometimes I walk through the door and I'm still
on 10.
And he's just like, easy, bring it down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're home now.
Yeah.
And that's an experience I wouldn't trade in, because I don't think, you know, people, especially women, they worry that, you know, when I have children, it's going to take away my drive, or, you know, if I have a man in my life, I've got to focus on him and I won't be able to focus. If you have the right man in your life and he understands, because it's always about making each other better, right? It's always about fulfilling your potential. And that's what we're supposed to do for each other. And again, his whole, take on it was like, you've got to go out there. I've got to make sure that your mind is totally free and clear to do what you got to do.
Does he have a brother?
Oh, I know, right? Listen, the funny part about it is he's the communal husband for all my girlfriends. Oh, they're like, he's the group husband.
Right, right. Television, you started with music, you're moving into film. Thank you, Mona Scott Young, for being a woman on top.
Cheers.
Cheers.